but we can only select one nominee as the winner for this particular category, cybersecurity leadership recognition. So leadership has always been a way to create an environment for people to thrive. And when I was thinking about leadership, one thing that easily comes to mind is a tree in Bangladesh called Bansur tree. A Bansur tree is a tree that grows by environment. So if you take this tree and you put it in an aquarium, it will not go beyond that. But when you take the same seed of the tree and you put it in the forest, it will grow and grow wide and grow high. It means that we have to create an environment that is conducive for people to thrive. Anybody can perform anywhere depending on the environment that we create. Nobody can be written off. Everybody has potential depending on the environment that we create and the policy that we pursue. The next award recipient is the man that we have come to meet. If you call him doctor, he will be right. If you call him professor, he will be right as well. And if you call him industry leader, he will be right as well. I must say that it wasn't really difficult for award judges to actually select this man for this award. Not because of title, even though he has so many titles. Not because of the work he has done, even though he has done tremendous work. Not because of his position of responsibility, even though he's the program chair, Cybersecurity graduate program at the University of Willis College. Not because he knows how to play guitar, even though he's a good guitarist. And not because he's a devoted husband, even though he's been married for 41 years. But because of everything I have mentioned combined. He's such a great man who believes so much in empowering people to achieve their dreams and fulfill their potentials. He is very passionate. He has the heart to develop people. He mentor. He's the mentor of mentors. He's the trainer of trainers. He's the leader of leaders. Please welcome with me Professor Mansur Hasib, the winner of Outstanding Global Cybersecurity Leadership.
Well, thank you for this amazing honor and for inviting me to share a bit about my career journey. In the last chapter of my book, Cybersecurity Leadership, I wrote, when life tells you to move on, listen. And tonight, what I'm going to do is share some stories from my career to explain this point. All of our lives are full of pivot points. Some are large, some are small. These events are usually outside our control, yet they force us to make some hard choices or even reevaluate the direction of our lives. Initially, they may feel like problems, but every problem is also an opportunity. And if we focus on the problems, we could destroy ourselves. But instead, if we focus on the solutions, we can uplift and even reinvent our careers. And reinvention is the most powerful way to avoid obsolescence and irrelevance for us as well as our organizations. During the early 1980s, I was a PhD student of political science at Emory University in Atlanta, Georgia. And I learned to analyze large amounts of data using computers and statistical software. I also learned how to build local area networks. I was close to graduation. I could smell it, I could feel it. And I was ready to settle into my predictable life as a professor of political science. And suddenly, I learned my dissertation chair was denied tenure and was moving to another university at another state. my new dissertation chair asked me to change my dissertation. What you're doing is not political science. She had no interest or expertise in what I was doing. So I had two choices: change my dissertation or change the direction of my life. I reasoned that the world already had lots of PhDs in political science, but at that time, there was hardly any network engineers or digital strategists in the world. So I decided to change the direction of my life. I moved to Texas, gave up my doctoral program in political science, gave up my mom's and my own dream to have a doctoral degree, and I moved to Texas to modernize a medical college and a teaching hospital from paper records to electronic records, electronic research, word processing, electronic spreadsheets, digital printing, and yes, even email, because in 1986, 87, there was no such thing as email. But here's an interesting thing: as I walked around the whole college, I was seeing a lot of concerned faces. These were people who were earning a living as typists, key punch operators. Some were doing accounting and payroll functions using calculators, thick paper ledgers, and of course, manually processed payroll checks. They had seen even simple technology adoption in the past lead to what? Waves of layoffs. Waves of layoffs. But layoffs never made sense to me. Because to me, people have always been the most valuable asset of any company. So I sensed this. I talked with everybody, and we made a bold promise. There would be no layoffs. Everyone will be trained and transitioned into the new environment, and their careers will actually take an exciting and financially rewarding turn, because they will be the first in the state of Texas to be experts in the new technology we were about to deploy. And since there was nobody else to do this, I personally had to train 400 of the 500 employees of that organization. And what we did was unleash a culture of productivity and innovation. What I learned very early in my career was a very important lesson, that the power of technology is not in the technology itself. It is not in replacing people. Technology's primary job is to make humans more productive and more innovative. That's where the true power of technology is. And so what happened was, right after that, I moved to Maryland to join a massive project to modernize the Calvert Cliffs nuclear power plant, which had 2,500 people. The plant was on a watch list because we had rooms full of paper records, but nobody could find anything. So the Nuclear Regulatory Commission put them on a watch list. If you cannot produce records, you're going to fail an audit. My job was to build the enterprise network and the governance environment, because information governance is a very key aspect of running a company. Once again, I reasoned that our investments in technology could never deliver the promised returns unless people were trained to use the technology to be more productive and innovative in their jobs. My team and I, just 3 of us, we trained 100 people from 100 organizational units at the nuclear power plant. And they, in turn, trained the people in their units. And we brought them every month to keep training them. Once again, what it did was it made the productivity and innovation absolutely exceed our wildest dreams. A few years later, I reached another pivot point. I had been a chief information officer. at a state biotechnology research institute for almost a decade, and the job seems secure. Then in 2009, our president was laid off. The university was shut down because it was losing money because of the economic downturn. And then in January of 2010, I was laid off also, along with the rest of the entire executive team. And what I learned early in life from my mom was that we have 100% control over our actions. We cannot control a layoff. We cannot control the actions of others. But guess what? We have 100% control over our own actions. Focus on the solutions. Do not focus on the problem. So I basically decided to take a step back, and I ran through my choices. First, I started a national job search. It would allow me to see what was happening throughout the United States. I spoke at conferences. I wrote hundreds of articles for various global publications all over the world. Whoever wanted something, I gave it to them. I talked to media, I mentored people. I attended every free conference there was around, so I didn't have a whole lot of money. So I was looking for free conferences, which is something that every student should be doing today. And after I did this, what I found was that there's an amazing thing going on. And now, the other nice thing was that we also took some time off to take some vacations, because after all, we had an extraordinary supply of time, which I never had that before. So, at one conference, what happened was, I learned that now there is a Doctor of Science in Cybersecurity. I said, what? A Doctor of Science in Cybersecurity? So I thought I would never qualify for this. Found out I was the perfect fit. I had a CISSP. If I had a CISSP, there's no admission test. I had more than 5 years of job experience. They wanted us to work on real problems. They didn't want some nebulous problem that nobody would ever benefit from. They wanted us to solve real world problems. So they said, yeah, we want the people with job experience because you know what's going on. And I knew that one of the biggest problems in this whole industry was leadership and lack of it. Because people didn't understand leadership. They were confusing it with management. And business schools were teaching the wrong thing. That's another thing that I learned during the time that I was traveling. And so what I did was I focused on the leadership aspects of cybersecurity. And I did a national study of cybersecurity in US healthcare and became one of the first doctoral degree holders in the field of cybersecurity. And then what I did was 48 hours after completing my dissertation and defending it, I published my first book titled Impact of Security Culture and Security Compliance in Healthcare in the USA. And then between 2014 and 2015, I published my seminal book. This is the book where I shared all my 30 years of experiences, what I learned about cybersecurity leadership as I was doing it in healthcare, energy, biotechnology, education. How would you do this? And that's when I published Cybersecurity Leadership, Powering the Modern Organization. And that title was chosen with a particular purpose, because I believe that the cybersecurity strategy, digital strategy, actually powers the modern organization. If we think of it as a cost center, it will never work. I published the book in ebook, paperback, and audio to make sure that everyone from high school students to corporate executives could read or listen at a very low cost. I also did independent publishing because I was learning about this whole world of publishers, commercial publishers, where they were making money but the authors were not. I wanted my work to be read and consumed at a very low cost, so that's what I did. And what I understood is that this message is that about profitability of a modern organization is really through digital strategy and a people-powered perpetual innovation culture. You see, who does innovation? People. Who chooses technology? People. And who trains others to use technology? It's people. So what I did was I developed a Master of Science and a Doctor of Science program using all of these concepts, and I launched it in Cyber Maryland. And as a result of this, what happened also was that as you start sharing knowledge, you start to develop what is called a global brand. Because people are benefiting from your knowledge, they start building relationships with you. I didn't know that would happen. I just did it because I felt that was the right thing to do. So now I realize that, wait a minute, technology is not just connecting computers. Technology is also connecting people at a global scale. And I realized that the people network is more powerful than a computer network. And my amazing global network is directly responsible for everything that I've achieved today. Because if not for the network of amazing people, I wouldn't be here today. I believe this award will amplify my voice and also help more people learn about my work. I also feel it will lead to more collaborative efforts, and we will create more executives who will embrace and practice what I call ethical leadership. I'm sincerely thankful and utterly humbled by the honor of this award. Thank you, Yomi Olalere, President of the Ontario College of Management and Technology and Chair of this International Cybersecurity Intelligence Conference, and your team for your kind invitation and hospitality. Thank you also to the judges for your thoughtful consideration and recognition of my work. And of course, I would be remiss if I didn't give my thanks to my dear friend, Rima Aristocrat, CEO of the historic 150-year-old Willis College. If you don't know her, you need to know her. She adopted my courses and my book, Cybersecurity Leadership, into her college curriculum, and she also nominated me for this award and has been championing my work, not only for Canada, but the rest of the world. So, utterly, utterly grateful. I'm also blessed to have a growing circle of amazing global friends. I do cherish every friendship. One can never have too many friends. And there is nothing better in life to me than spending good times with friends. So thank you everyone for your presence and your friendship. Thank you for inviting me and my wife, Rima Hasib, who's also in the audience today, to share this amazing evening with all of you. We just celebrated our 41st wedding anniversary this week. So this was also an anniversary trip for us. And so we took some time to see the beautiful parts of Canada. And so this award is also a great anniversary present for us. Thank you very much.